All right, so I was praying. I'm always praying. And I was sitting here. I started getting thoughts of what I could do, what moves to make, and all of that. And then I'm just like, hold up. Because I won that battle a long time ago, so I know how to fight that one easy. I'm just like, Lord, what do you want me to do? And I remember I was talking to Gabriel, and he told me, I went this way, there's nothing but darkness there. I was like, all right. And he said, but I delivered your messages to the churches you told me to visit. And I was like, thank you. And one thing I always go to is my angels and my angels that are on stage performing true worship, which means they have a obedient heart to God. And I know my voice, and my sheep know my voice. So I can listen to me through them, and I'm constantly reminded, Lord, we love you. We're a mess, but we love you. And I'm like, so I don't say anything. That's the polite thing to do. I'm like, well, stop being a mess. But I understand the walk. Because a lot of people have chosen to take the walk of Jesus Christ. Picking up their cross, denying themselves daily. All the things that make you understand everything. That you are alive. The Spirit is telling me to put it like this. It is the vestige of royalty. There are certain rules to royalty. Every royal family has their own etiquette they follow. And we follow that. That provides us a sense of class, a presence, God's people, set apart, holy. But I also look at them and I'm like, there's so much more, though. There's so much more. So I was praying, and I consulted with some other angels. And I said, well, how many people do I have? How many actual servants that moved into sonship that are in place? And the angel said, about 144,000. I was like, brilliant. Okay. So then they have some people. Angels like, they have some. I'm like, all right. How are my houses? The angels are like, in America, you have 3 that would be suitable to your expectations, Your Majesty. I was like, okay. 1 is ready. The 2 are others. They are more worship oriented, as you requested. It's like, all right, perfect. How are my other houses? Oh, Your Majesty, you have many houses. Many are ready. I'm like, tell me what I need to know. The majority are a mess, Your Majesty. And I laughed. I was like, yeah, I expected that. And I was consulting with a close angel that I'm bringing in to a closer relationship. And she said, well, they're not being taught. And then I fired back. I'm like, hold on. If they've chosen other fathers. And she said, well, where have you been? And I said, hold up. There's the Bible, dreams, prophets, speaking through people. And she was like, you know your kids. When has that worked? I was like, all right. So I was praying on it. I talk to my dad all the time, and he's teaching me. He's always teaching me. And he said he was funny. He said, when your kids go out, do they not still know where you live? I was laughing. I was like, yeah. So get used to the back and forth. Love them as they are. But we still have to have this separation. But it's a temporary separation as far as God's people and those that have chosen to just not be God's people. God's people have already laid down their lives for the people that have chosen to reject Him. It is time for them now to be raised. And it's hard for me, nothing's hard for me, but to put in terms you understand. If I can't teach on a spiritual level, because I don't even really speak a language. The language I speak is thought. And then I can lower that to an audible language. I prefer the heavenly language of faith and thought, but I'm always willing to not die this time. I've lowered myself enough, I feel. So does the Father, so that's great. And more about lead by example. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And then I'm gathering up my immediate family so that everybody has the visual and audible manifestations that allow them to believe without fear. Because everybody has a fear of that can't be him, and some are just like, I don't want it to be him, and some are like, not what I expected, but makes sense. And all the processes people go through. But the main thing is my sheep know my voice, and they follow me, and they will not follow another. So I love you. That's what we're doing. That's what's already done. And all of this had to take place so that it points right to the Bible, where the answers always have been, always will be, and always are. Because without that, there's nothing. You cannot create your own truths. Your opinions are not truths. A lot of people jump to conclusions because they get excited. You have to have the discipline to allow everything to be revealed to you through the Spirit. And there's so much I could teach on a human level, but then all I'm going to be doing is competing with other churches to get the truth out. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to teach the truth. And for those that hunger for righteousness, they will be filled. And for those that hunger for love and laughter, they will be overflowing and full. And for those that love Jesus and have not simply praised him with their lips and kept their hearts far from him, they already know the truth. They already know me. I already know them. It's just like a wake-up call type of thing. So there is much I have to teach. And the Spirit told me that I'm about, as far as being able to teach with human intellect, 3 years ahead of any other teacher. So I always keep that in mind, and I tailor and measure my teachings to the students. So, I love you.